Hello Aries, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Aries for the week of February 14th. Now Aries, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now, Aries, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that is someone impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. Let's see what we have here for you. Now, just a small percentage of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed, and so if you watch my videos regularly and you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. Really helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time that you are watching me. All right, so we're going to be doing a Celtic cross spread here. Let me make sure everything is set up and in view. All right, we're going to take 3 cards to clarify as we go along. And something different this time around, I'm going to take a few oracle cards here. I have already shuffled the deck, so we're going to put these oracle cards right there. And let's go ahead and get into this. So, energy on the bottom, you have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is potentially somebody who is capable of giving you wise counsel. Okay, this person will be trusted in their given field or whatever you may find yourself going to talk to them about. And so typically the Queen of Swords is somebody who, if they give you advice, it's probably pretty good. And so with that, the Queen of Swords can be somebody who is knowledgeable, obviously, somebody who's a subject matter expert. The same is true for the King of Swords, actually. Both the Queen and the King of Swords can be subject matter experts. And so I actually feel like some of you are getting wise counsel here in this week, potentially Aries, or some of you are giving someone wise counsel as well. You could also flip that around. Now, if this is if this is like a quality or an aspect of yourself, the Queen of Swords could say that right now it's important that you just cut through whatever is no longer serving you, which is exactly what the Queen of Swords does. They don't let anyone stand in their way, and they don't put up with anybody's garbage, okay? I don't really know how else to say it in a more friendly way, but they don't let anyone sort of bully them around is probably the better way of saying it. And so, some of you may be taking on these qualities about yourself here in this week. But taking a look here, you have 3 of the 4 swords court cards. So dealing with an air sign, you might be an air sign yourself, or you may have a moon. Like depending on what sign you're watching, your moon or your rising sign might be an air sign, or your sun sign might be. And so, yeah, very interesting. But in your current situation, you have the Empress. So this could very well be talking about your mother or a mother figure in your life. You could either be getting good counsel from them, or there could be something involving your mother here in this week in some kind of way. The Empress also, more importantly, I think, represents the most abundant card in the tarot. This is somebody who is fertile and prosperous and resourceful. And so they have not only everything they need, but they have an abundance of what they need in order to get tasks done. The Empress will also, it's Venus energy, right? And so that's all about beauty and love, but also luxury and wealth. And the Empress will nurture something in their life into existence, like the mother archetype would nurture their children. And so, yeah, definitely like to see that energy here for you. In the problem position, you have the Death card. So I would definitely don't read this literally. The Death card is all about transformation in your life. Now, as this is showing up in the problem position, what the Death card to me is indicating, Aries, is that you are going through a major change in your life, and change is hard. Okay, so whatever that change may be, for some of you, this may be about your abundant mindset, as we have the Empress here showing up as a card of abundance. For others of you, it could be challenges or, arguments or issues with your mother. But whatever is going on here, some of you are kind of making a big change in some area of your life at this time. And like I said, I think this is more about change being hard and transformation being hard. But ultimately, no one says that the change has to be bad. It just says that it may be a little bit difficult at this time. Now, in the past, you have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is all about some sort of good news coming into your life. So this could mean that recently you've had maybe a good situation that has happened. You may have gotten good news that may have been delivered to you. You could have also been some of you could have had a nice sort of intuition about an idea. This can represent like downloads of information coming into you or coming to you in some ways. The Page of Wands can also say that as a quality of yourself, you're maybe energetic, you're lively, you're full of energy at this time. And so, the past for you could have had some good news. And now for some of you, what may be going on here is you may be trying to figure out what can you best do with this news or this situation that happened here in the past. Reason being is you have this King of Swords in the future and the Queen of Swords on the bottom. Again, wise counsel, subject matter expert, authoritative, right? The King of Swords is somebody who will help you get from point A to point B. They will not take an emotional interest in you. They'll give you a fair shot too. And I do wonder if some of you are maybe in a legal situation here with all of the Swords energy. You could say that the King of Swords might be a lawyer, so could the Queen of Swords. I don't think that's for everybody, and I don't get a whole lot of legal energy in my readings, but some of you could be dealing with something here in this week. Now, the King of Swords is also just potentially asking you to take a look at your routines, your habits, your structures, and maybe just ask yourself if you are setting yourself up for success at this time. Now, on your conscious awareness or on your thoughts here, you have the Nine of Swords. Now, this Nine of Swords is about potentially fears right now. You could have some fears going on in your thoughts. You could be involved in or engaged in catastrophe thinking at this time with the Nine of Swords. This is a card of stress and anxiety potentially. This person's having a nightmare. And so for some of you, you may be focusing on a negative problem or the negative at this time. And I do think that maybe even though we don't have the Queen of Cups, which would be like a therapist in the tarot, I do feel like perhaps some of you are going to talk to somebody here that may alleviate something or that may help you see something in a new way. You do have the High Priestess, which is a way shower. That could absolutely be a therapist. I do feel like maybe some of you are going to be seeing a therapist potentially. I'm not saying everybody should or has to or is, but I do feel like some of you are going to maybe get help from somebody who can obviously help show you something in a new way. Now, in the subconscious, in the lower row, what you can't see or the hidden, you have the Page of Swords. So this could be somebody who's annoying you. Again, we're getting so many swords cards here. The majority of these cards are swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these cards are swords. And, the Page of Swords can represent news of delay. It can also represent disappointing news, but it could say that someone's maybe annoying you in your life as well. It could literally be your mother here or a family member or something along those lines. I'll be interested to see how we clarify this message. You could also just be full of ideas. We also have these double pages here, okay? Like you could be just like an idea person. You may have a lot of different ideas going on at this time. Now, moving towards the future in the staff, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have this Two of Swords here. Again, another swords card. This is all about potentially not being able to see the way forward, maybe not having all of the facts, not having all of the information at this time. You can see this person's literally blindfolded. They cannot see what is in front of them. And so some of you may want to get clear, okay? I'm getting this energy, this sharp energy with all of the swords. King of Swords, Queen of Swords, laser focus. Okay, some of you may be acquiring a laser focus at this time. Two of Swords might also say that some of you are having a hard time with your, this is somebody who might be like restricted in speech. And so you may have a hard time finding words or having a conversation with somebody in the right way with this Two of Swords. Could be conflict, like verbal conflict, but nothing like awful, but it could just mean like sparring, verbal sparring, if you will. In the external influence, you have the Four of Pentacles. So this can be maybe asking you to take a look at your budget, maybe asking you to take a look at your spending. This can mean that finances are stabilizing, which is a really positive way of looking at this. But this can also represent that this person is holding on to their pentacles just a little bit too tightly. They are literally saving for a rainy day here, but it can dip into scarcity if they feel like they'll never get these pentacles back, which you and I both know that couldn't be farther from the truth, right? There will always be more opportunities to get these pentacles back and more in one way or another. And so if you do find yourself dipping into that mode, just maybe just be mindful of that, I feel like is what the cards are saying. Now, in your hopes and fears, you do have the Ace of Cups here. Interestingly enough, this is the week of Valentine's that we're looking at, and most of the messages have not been love related. There's been one so far, but interesting. The Ace of Cups here talks about new love entering into your life. Could be somebody who's interested in you, potential romantic partner, or a new beginning with you and somebody else. And some of you could be hoping that situation happens in your life. I'll be interested to see what cards we get to clarify once again, which we're going to get to in a minute. But the outcome here is the High Priestess. This is mysterious energy, okay? This is somebody who's extremely desirable as well. And so it's very hard to get with the High Priestess, to be just totally real with you, especially as you have the Ace of Cups here in the hopes and fears. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get with this person that you're thinking about or they're not interested in you or anything like that. But I'm just saying that this is a card of desirability. High Priestess always has many suitors. The other thing is that this is somebody who is a way shower and somebody who's maybe capable of really helping you kind of reframe something that may be going on in your mind. Definitely therapist vibes when you get the High Priestess. And so, yeah, definitely interesting. It could also represent hidden knowledge here coming to the surface in the outcome position. So let's go ahead and start to clarify. Let's see what these three cards are. I'm very interested to see. Okay, so you have the World, the Four of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. So you're completing this cycle here. The World is a major victory, a major success. The Four of Cups talks about somebody who's potentially like dipping into boredom, dipping into apathy, but it warns you to be very careful that you are not missing out on this opportunity here that is being provided to you by the universe. As you see this alternative cup kind of coming out of thin air, it represents a solution to your problem, but make sure you do not miss it. The last thing here is this Eight of Pentacles, which is all about a talent. And, some of you are work. Okay, so some of you, it doesn't mean that the Eight of Pentacles can't be in a relationship. It doesn't mean that the Eight of Pentacles is always single, but it does say that for most people, the Eight of Pentacles represents you putting your career first, which is never really a bad thing. But it is sort of, since we did talk about relationships, that is definitely something that's coming in here. You also have this, so taking a look at these oracle cards, you have in the near future, if you believe, and ask for help from others. Look at this ask for help from other cards. I felt like this as soon as I started taking out the cards here, that some of you are going to be getting counsel. Okay, I've probably said it 100 times in this reading, and now here this card is coming in once again. You have the Arrow card as well as Shaolin Master. So the Arrow card is surround yourself with protective energy. Shaolin Master is be graceful in movement and action. So I don't feel like there's any need to force a situation here. I also actually want to take this card as well. This card was coming out here. Guardian Angel, you are not alone. So I love that message for you. You have protection here as you go through these changes, and yeah, I do feel like on the other end of this there are big opportunities to complete something and to acquire victory in some ways. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.